All right. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Hopefully, everybody out there can hear me okay. Um, yeah, welcome to the 2026 live stream. Here we go. Hey, Sean, or Chris, how's it going? Why, Sean? Sorry. Hi, Chris. How's it going, brother? So, yeah, man, it's good to see you here. I hope everybody's enjoyed that cool recap intro video. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Naya. Oh, and thanks for being so cool about that, Chris. I appreciate that, man. That's great. Thank you, Naya. Do you like the goggles? I did no hat this year. I decided it was time to go sans hat and stick with the steampunky goodness and go from there. So yeah, man, I got some big stuff to share with everybody today. I hope everybody's pretty excited about what's coming. We're gonna talk a bit about the Cloud Breakers Peregrine. Obviously, we're going to be talking about some other things that are happening this year, some pretty big things, some pretty exciting things that have come up for me, I suppose. So yeah, I guess we might as well jump right into it. Hey, like here we go. here we go. So Cloud Breakers Peregrine. Oh, thank you. Yeah, super cool goggles indeed. I feel pretty good about them. Sometimes I could put them on, but Duke was wearing them in my the video earlier, and yeah, hopefully you saw that picture. Yeah, so let's start this year off. We'll start today off with the most exciting thing. As you know, obviously from last year, I had a pretty big tour. I went on a pretty big book tour with Indigo, traveled around British Columbia and Alberta, and it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. I met a lot of people, expanded my reach. I had a lot of fun. And this year, I decided I wanted to aim a little higher. I don't know how high you could go past a book tour like that, but I decided that maybe what was in the works was some more conventions. So last year I did Enderby LitCon, CamCon here in Kamloops. I did the Spring Fling Book Fair down in Victoria. Did a whole bunch of those different types of those kind of events last year. And this year I was like, oh, I wonder if I'm at a point yet in my career where people might recognize my name enough to get into something really big. So, hey, Jason, how's it going? Good to see you here, brother. Thank you so much for showing up and supporting me. I appreciate it. Sorry you missed the intro video because there was a couple nods to you there and stuff. And yes, Vicky, it was absolutely insanely awesome to be on tour. I loved being in the Spring Fling and being able to throw paper airplanes across the aisle at each other pretty much. It was great. So what's the big news for this year? Well, my friends, the big news that's coming up for this year is I have been invited to and will be appearing in Victoria in June at Island FanCon. Island FanCon is made by the same people that do Fan Expo in Vancouver. It's out in Langford this year on June 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's a 3-day event. There was 5,500 people, 5,000 to 5,500 people last year. It was a massive event. So, I mean, super exciting to be able to go to that. I'm really, really, really excited. The guest list of celebrities that are going to be there this year is starting to come out, and it's pretty exciting. They've got pretty much the entire cast of Shoresy that are going to be there, like Jonesy and Riley are going to be there, and yeah, it's huge. Like it's exciting. I mean, I used to go to Capital City Comic Con in Victoria all the time, and we were really sad when Victoria lost Capital City, and it seems that Island FanCon has sort of taken up the the torch, so to speak. So I will be there for June 5th, 6th, and 7th. And what's really cool is there's going to be I'll be in the E building. So I'm just loading up the map here and I'll show you. It's at the Langford Community Center. So there's Eagle Ridge building and then the West Hills building. I will be in the Eagle Ridge building. I'll be in table number E47, and my good buddy Evan Parrott is going to be my neighbor. So we're going to be carpooling down there together, and there we go. And we will be there. So you can come out to Island FanCon. You can come say hi. I'll be in Victoria for the weekend too. So those of you that want to grab a beer afterwards, I'm going to try, but we'll see. I'm going to be exhausted. I'm coming down on Thursday the 4th. Probably going to stay with my friend Steve because he's helping me with my table. And then I'll be staying until the Monday and then coming back home for work. So yeah, Island FanCon. That's the big news for this year, is that the biggest thing. So I thought, instead of like pressing on and trying to get more tour stuff done, the fact that I was accepted to and will be appearing at this convention meant that I was going to use it as the springboard, as the launch point for my 2026 tour. So I will go from here on. I'll be doing Enderby LitCon again. I'll be doing CamCon again for sure. I'm trying to get into maybe Kelowna Comic Con or some of the other things later on in the year, but we'll see what happens. But that brings me to my next piece of news, the piece of news that I'm pretty sure, hopefully most of you have been waiting to hear, and that is the official release date of Cloudbreaker's Peregrine. So Peregrine, I figured, what better time to bring the sequel to Valen out into the world than Island FanCon. So Peregrine will officially release to the world on June 5th, 2026. Will be the official worldwide full release, will be June 5th, 2026. So you'll be able to get it from me at Island FanCon through the weekend if you're in Victoria. But you're also going to be able to purchase it on like Amazon and Indigo and all those kind of places that same weekend. So don't feel bad if you're not in Victoria or able to get to Victoria. You're not going to miss out on anything. I'm going to be changing up my distribution model a little bit this year and trying to get more stuff directly provided to people, just because then they get all the cool toys, right? Like they'll get the bookmarks and all the fun things that come with it. So it's going to be super huge, super exciting. It's the book itself. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, it's super soon. Like Valen only hit the world, what was December 18th, 2024. January 16th, 2025, when the paperback landed. So, it's been just over a year and I'm already into the sequel. Vicky and my other editing team, Shane Sylvester, Evan Parrott, Linnea and Tiana, Lori Cameron, they've already been chewing through it at a ridiculous pace, and the praise for it's been good. A lot of people are liking it even better than Valen. More action, more character development, expanding the world, all sorts of stuff. So it's super exciting, and it's definitely been fast. Yes, Vicky, pre-orders will be available in April. And I'm really glad you asked me that question, because now I get the perfect segue. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, that this information is coming to you like fast and furious today, but perfect segue into my next big chunk of news. This is what I've been so nervous to share, but April 1st, I'm launching a Kickstarter for Cloudbreaker's Peregrine, and to help me do more, to reach more, to go out more. So for the month of April, from the 1st to the 30th, I will be doing a Cloudbreakers Kickstarter campaign. And what we're going to do is instead of like aiming high, like I'm not going to use this campaign to try to make myself a ton of money. That's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is, one, it's going to be experimental for me because I've never done a Kickstarter before. So it's going to be more to generate interest, to you know, put some steam in that hype train, so to speak, you know, and to really boost pre-orders, right? So by backing the Kickstarter campaign, you're going to be able to get your hands on all sorts of cool stuff before the rest of the world does. So April 1st to April 30th, yeah, right? How could I not do a steam pun? I'm like the king of puns with the More About Storytelling show and everything else, right? But so if you back the Kickstarter in April and you purchase your pre-order of Peregrine through the Kickstarter, besides all the really cool things that I'm going to be releasing with it, you're also going to be getting your copies mailed out in May. So they'll go out the moment I have them, which means you won't have to wait for June or anything like that. And you'll have the opportunity to get some of the super cool swaggy swags that I intend to be sharing. And I've got some examples for you here, like this. A lot of you will probably recognize this little Mama Jamma as the Cloudbreakers logo 3D printed that was adorning the front of my display that shattered at CamCon last year. Now, for Kickstarter, I fixed my 3D printer and I figured out I can print 2 to 3 of these at a time. So I'm going to be offering these 3D printed logos, hand painted for the Kickstarter as part of the backing. It'll be one of the things that you can get in the Kickstarter. Now, speaking of backing, right now, oh, look at that. It's just like porous kind of looking plastic. When these go out for the Kickstarter stuff, they're actually going to be backed with magnet sheet. So this is going to be a 3-dimensional printed, hand painted Cloudbreakers logo for your fridge or your locker or whatever metal object you want to stick it to. So that's just one of the ideas I have for the campaign. We're working on a list. Like I have a list of every airship in my books, not just the ones that appear, but every one that exists that I've come up with a name for. So we're going to be creating unit badges for every single one of the ships. There'll be stickers available. You can choose which ship you want to represent or be a part of, so on and so forth. And the cool thing about doing all this stuff, like the bookmarks and the postcards and this for Kickstarter, is extras that I have can become my swag when I'm going on tour next year. So that's as pretty much as big a news as it gets. I would love the support when this Kickstarter goes live. You don't have to use it to purchase your book if you don't want to, but if you share it online, like shout it to the rooftops, print posters off and put them at your local comic store or whatever. Doesn't matter. Anything you do to help is going to be fantastic. I'm only going to be aiming super low. I think I'm going to put it at like maybe $1,500 just to see what happens. And then that way, if I meet my goal quickly, then Kickstarter's algorithm starts to share it more. So like I said, more like a marketing stunt than an actual fundraiser. So on the Kickstarter. Hey, how's it going, Abe? Oh man, I love this kid, man. My favorite little dude in the universe, Abraham. Thank you so much. I really love that you're watching the show. I miss you, buddy. Big hugs for you. Can't wait to see you again soon. Shane, yeah. So yeah, yes, copies of Valen will definitely be available as part of the Kickstarter rewards. There'll be an ebook tier that'll come with Peregrine and Kickstarter, like Peregrine and Valen as a Kickstarter pack, like a tier reward. There'll be the printed ones, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there will definitely be Valen memorabilia and books available and stuff too. Yeah. Yeah. Hey Tim, yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm really looking forward to this one. Yeah, I can't believe how far I've come, from writing Legend of the Sunlight Prince in 2013 and launching it at a coffee shop and Now here I am doing like global live stream presentations from my basement through space. Oh, the world is a weird place, but okay, so I'm going to drink some water here and take a breath. While I do that, my friends, I'm going to show you something super kick-ass, pardon my language, that is a part of what's to come. You'll probably get sick of this in the next little while, but it'll be a part of the Kickstarter stuff. So allow me to introduce you to the first ever book trailer for the Cloudbreakers universe. All right. So, man, I'm proud of that. I hope you all really enjoyed that, and I'm very very happy to announce and to share with all of you that absolutely none of that trailer was AI. All of it was done with Adobe After Effects, with Adobe Premiere, and stock footage and music from that I licensed from Envato. So absolutely absolutely proud of it. It was really cool too when I was making it. Thanks, Shane. Yeah, I'm definitely proud of it. Super cool for sure. And there's so much imagery in it that I was able to locate that was right out of the book. You know, like Cole staring off into space. I wish he was looking a little more to the sky, but he was in the vest and everything, right? You know, Jasper being so solemn and looking over the land with his hat on and touching the wheat, even though they don't really farm wheat, but whatever. And then like the imagery of the steam engines and the machinery. Actually found a short video of a blimp flying over Paris. So I'm super super proud of it. So it's going to be showing up on social media a lot in the next little while. That you'll probably see me share it within the next week, and it'll go around and stuff. And yeah, so I'm glad you guys really liked it. I'm not, won't lie to you, when I finished it, and I got mom. I called mom in, and I put the headphones on her and I said, "Hey mom, watch this." And she was crying. She was crying. I made her cry. She was so proud and stuff, and it was awesome. So yeah, so there you go. Cloudbreakers has a Peregrine release date. I'm appearing at Island FanCon in June. The Kickstarter's coming in April, and oh yes, right. I should have I should have found cinnamon buns. My God, that's disappointing. Yeah, they man, good. Good one. Yeah. Yes, that's yeah, Becky Adder and her sweet cinnamon bun treats. Yeah. Yeah, so it's super busy year. So that's it for the announcements that I've got coming up and stuff. There's some other cool things that are coming in the near future. Like a lot of you probably remember last year when I was on tour, I shared a lot of pictures of these guys, right? Like my models here of Cole and Aylin that were part of the tour last year, and there's the Aylin with her wings. Now, unfortunately, I can't sell these because these models were created with a website called Hero Forge, and all of the actual parts and pieces are copyrighted. So I'm able to build my characters in there, and I can download them and print them off, but I can't sell them or share them other than to show. So if the Kickstarter, it'll probably be one of my stretch goals. If the Kickstarter does really well, I might actually hire somebody to make me actual models that I can then sell and share. But what's the point of having only Cole and Valen when I'm about to start a whole new tour? So coming in the next, like again, week or two, now that the printer's up and running, I'm going to be printing out and adding Chelsea and Lucius to the roster. So Chelsea Gisborne and Lucius Degova will be joining Cole and Aylin as models on my tour for 2026. And there you go. Lucius without his jacket on in all of his glory. Sorry for the spoilers. Ladies and gentlemen, the man with the metal arms. So take that, world. Now you know one of the biggest spoilers in my book. Ha 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 ha. Too bad, you should have read Valen by now. You've had a year. Oh, just kidding. Yeah, and then of course, there's also been the podcast and everything else going on this year. So it's been a wild run, man. And like I couldn't have done it without any of you. So a big thank you, big shout out goes to everybody that's supported me, everybody that's been there, that's cheered me on, that's listened to my late night whining sessions and my complaints about whether or not I should continue because it's hard. But yeah, here we are, and it's been fantastic. It's been a hell of a journey so far in the year we've been through already. I just spoke to a local author group last night for an hour and a half about the steampunk genre and what it's like to go on a book tour. So, I mean, considering that I only really started pushing publishing for myself in 2023 with Road to Bone Hill and Dark Below the Ice and stuff, and now, when Peregrine hits the shelves, that'll be book number 5, and then not very far behind that is going to be, like the Wolves of the Grindlemoor is on my docket, another Legends book about Nightcoat and all of the characters from Sunlight Prince. And then there's also the Tale of the Tide King is a new book that I've added to my slate, it's about Savage Harbor, where Saren and the other guys come from, sort of like a old man in the sea kind of thing that's going to be out there. And then after Peregrine, I was going to be quitting at a third book, but I now have a fourth. So the series is going to at least go to 4 books now, potentially maybe even longer. So what am I most excited for out of all the things in 2026? Oh man. You know what? I'd be lying, kiddo, if I didn't say seeing your awesome face. Like I miss you and your brother so much, and I cannot wait to get to Victoria to give you the biggest hug schnugs and you know. But yeah, geez, that's a really good question. What am I most excited for in terms of the books and stuff? I think just being able to put Valen and Peregrine side by side in real life, like in my hands on my shelf, being able to see them together side by side. It's just I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm not, honestly, yeah, can't really say it without spoilers, but I'm not looking forward to the potential for hate mail once Peregrine's over, but it is what it is, you know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Nightco probably one of the most popular characters in Legend of the Sunlight Prince by far. Um, yeah, everybody talks about him and how much they loved his character. So I knew I needed to explore a little bit more about him, and I wanted to tie into like what Cole was seeing in the Grindlemore during Val and his like seeing the wolves and how they helped him find Aelin and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Wolves of the Grindlemore is going to be a really fun one. I think people will enjoy it. Sort of like an adventure story, but almost like a Hansel and Gretel tale, more so than Sunlight Prince was. So yeah. Oh, you didn't think I was going to call you out live on YouTube and stuff, did you? Oh, dads, dads. So I guess yeah, like does anybody have any questions? Like do a bit of Q&A here. Like I know you guys have been asking questions as we've been going and stuff, but does anybody have anything that they're curious about or want to know more about? Maybe something I didn't go over. I don't think I didn't missed anything. Did you listen to Vicky's More About Storytelling podcast this morning? I hope you did. It was a great episode, man. I haven't laughed like that in a long time. Oh, and did you watch the Sasquatch documentary where I told Nick's story and stuff? And my buddy and I went up and looked for Sasquatch in the woods. Did you watch that on YouTube? Is it so funny? Great question, Shane. This question comes up a lot. So the character was designed after a real life person that actually you and I both know because we sail with her on the Ottawa. She was a engineering officer. So the character was designed after her, and her name is pronounced Ashlyn. She states that it is the only way to pronounce that name is Ashlyn. I, for years and years and years since the character was invented, have been pronouncing it Aelin. I don't know why. I think it just rolls off the tongue better. I like it better when you say like when you say Aelin Elisan, it just feels better. But Ashlyn Elisan kind of I know it's the proper pronunciation of the name, but I pronounce it Aelin. Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna call that the official because I like Aelin Elisan better. It just sounds better, right? What can we expect to see and find at the FanCon? Well, so if you go to their website, like if you're talking about the convention itself, it's huge. Like thousands of people, tons of cosplay, a lot of celebrities, all sorts of stuff. For myself specifically, gonna have me, obviously. So you get to come and see my face and pick on me and poke me and make fun of me and all that stuff. I'm gonna have all the books there, barring the Road to Bone Hill. I'm thinking that the Road to Bone Hill is nearing the end of its life, only because like it's not selling, it's being returned a lot, and I don't think it has anything to do with whether or not the book is bad or people don't like it. I think it's just it's niche. You know what I mean? Like memoirs about COVID and mead making is a sort of a niche thing a story to tell. But when I come down for Island FanCon, I'm going to have Dark Below the Ice. I'm going to have Valen. I'm going to have Legend of the Sunlight Prince. I'm going to have Peregrine because it'll be out by then. I'm going to have bookmarks, the original bookmarks that you're all familiar with, the Valen cover and the Verdos map. But Peregrine will come with its own pair of bookmarks now that'll include the Peregrine cover and the map of the Kingdom of Akoi. So the world is expanding because Peregrine takes place mostly in the neighboring country now. So it's going to have the Kingdom of Akoi map. Going to have stickers. Going to have hopefully these Cloudbreakers magnets if I can get enough of them made. Anything left over from the Kickstarter will be there. So yeah, so that's it for me. But otherwise, yeah, the con is huge. Like I think this is the third year they've done it, and it's huge. So um, I threw you off. Oh, Kelly. Is there any chance you can add on one more day to finally get out and do some salmon fishing? Yeah, I should. I was having this conversation with the boss of my day job here the other day, and he's giving me the gears because like mental health stuff, right? At BC Lotto, they're big on that kind of stuff, and he's giving me the gears because I don't take time off to actually have a holiday. I take time off to work. Like I take a week off so I can write my book or go on tour in Edmonton or all that kind of stuff. And I don't really do anything to for myself. So it would be a good idea. I will say though that it absolutely depends on what's happening at my house. And that's because we're selling this year. And we've got like 20 years, 25 years of almost, I guess, hoarding to clean and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of work and we don't know where we're going to be. So it's got a lot of stuff that we got to do. It's going to be a very, very busy year, but I will try to do that. It would be fun. And I know I owe you, you ask forever. So yeah, yeah, Chris, yeah, do it. Yeah. Chris and I work together. So yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. He knows those meetings. So yeah. But yeah, so busy year, man. Busy year last year, busy year ahead. And I'm super, super, super excited about everything. Yeah, for sure, Kelly. Yeah, I know you, I see you on TikTok all the time and I love it, man. Thanks for the support and the jokes there. Keep them coming. They're good. Yeah. Evan, Evan. Do any big reveals now that you've been waiting to share? now that Evan's joined up, eh? Well, what do you think, everybody? What like let me hit me in the chat. Let me know in the chat. You want me to play the trailer again or what? You want to see that again one more time? Hit me in the chat. Let me know so Evan can watch it. It takes a second for comments to come through. Giver. All right. You're lucky, Evan. Here you go, buddy. All for you. All right, there you go. That's round two of the Cloudbreakers book trailer that took me forever, and I'm super, super proud of. And again, like I mentioned before, None of it was AI. All of it was licensed stock footage that I found through Envato. The music was from there, and the effects, the title graphics, and everything were all done with Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects. The Nea said, "Is there anything out of context I can share from the upcoming novel?" Oh man, out of context without giving away any spoilers. Um, Man, that's a good one. Off the top of my head. Okay, here's one for you. Um, I see that Tim is in the chat. Linnea is in the chat. I'm not sure if Steve or I think Vicky's in the chat for sure. Um, some of you might remember my years of dungeon mastering in Victoria, like when I was living down there and I ran D&D games. And you might remember that Tim and I had that giant 3 foot like ship, and it was a D&D like three-dimensional D&D ship. You had it cardboard things you could pull out for all the different decks, and I wrote an entire campaign around that ship. So here's an Easter egg for you. In Cloudbreaker's Peregrine, the name of that ship from our Dungeons and Dragons campaign appears as an Easter egg for those of you that I love so much. It is the Halcyon Ray. So the Halcyon Ray ship from my Dungeons and Dragons campaign when I was living in Victoria shows up in Cloudbreaker's Peregrine. And there is a fantastic moment. I'm just going to leave it at that. There's a fantastic moment in that chapter where seasickness is involved. And per Shane Sylvester's comments about it specifically, I nailed the description of what seasickness feels like, even though I've never actually had it. Fun fact, I never ever got seasick in the Navy. But yeah, so there it is. The Halcyon Ray ship from our Dungeons and Dragons campaign in Victoria is in Clawbreaker's Peregrine. It is now a canon part of my story. um, you might not be there yet, Vicky. You might not have got to that part yet. I think it's Shane. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's chapter 12, right? In the edits that I sent to you guys. I think it was chapter 12 where that happens, where you get to see it. But yeah, there's there's a couple times where it's mentioned and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, chapter 12. Yeah. So yeah, the Halcyon Ray from, you know what? It's funny actually too, for like people that remember playing D&D and stuff with me. There's a lot of those kind of things that are in these books, like the Forsaken Plains Penitentiary from our Discord, like our online game. That makes a big appearance in this as a part of a koi, right? So yeah. Yeah. Naya, yeah, absolutely correct. I can read in a car. I've never been airsick. I've never been seasick. But if I sit in VR or I watch a movie like the Blair Witch Project, sick instantly. So apparently, physically, my body can do anything, but simulate it, instantly sick. Tim knows that too. He can laugh all he wants at it because he'll remember putting me in his PlayStation VR and stuff and making me all like blah, blah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming, Evan. I really appreciate that you showed up, buddy. I'm glad you loved the trailer. I'll send you all the other fun stuff later too. I'll PM you the pictures of the Lucius and Chelsea models and all that. I just kind of I wanted to sit on something for today. Like, you have no idea how hard it was to keep that trailer and everything from all of you. It was like, you know me, when these things come out, I'm just like, I want to show everybody, but I succeeded in holding it hostage until the very last moment. So yeah, there you go, Vicky. Yeah, so it's in part two. I think it's chapter 12 in part two and stuff. Yeah, Tim. Yeah, making me sick in VR. So Yeah. So yeah, that I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely exhausted. Definitely exhausted. So um did it with the new book too, nothing about the video or the boom. Yeah, book. Oh, video of the book. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's right, Chris. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I hope everybody's excited. Um, Again, like I was saying, it's exhausting. Come a long way, and there's a long way yet to go. I will share with you, since we're talking about it, the Peregrine, like Cloudbreaker's book two, Peregrine, will be coming out in June 5th. Cloudbreaker's book three is going to be called Starfall. That's the title. The official title for Clawbreaker's Book Three is going to be Starfall, which obviously those of you who've read the book know that it's the name of the main ship in the Akoyan fleet. All that. So that's going to be book three is going to be Starfall, and then book four is going to be called Immortal, which you know you're not going to get. Well, you might, but you might not. It's going to be cool. Starfall is dark. Peregrine starts to get dark. It's sort of like Harry Potter in the sense where it starts out bright and cheerful, and then everything starts getting worse. And I won't go into too much. I won't give anybody spoilers or anything like that. But it's definitely going to be at least those four books, and then we'll see what happens after that. Yeah. Yeah, Chris, I've got this weird hang up about talking about these things at work. I there's quite a few people at work that are I don't want to use the word fans because I don't want to sound too egotistical, but there's at least three or four people in our group, like David Klassen and a couple other guys there that are fans that have read the book and they really enjoy it, and they do ask me questions and tell me what they like or didn't like about it and stuff. And I did the book swap last year and I donated some of my own books through the social club, and they asked me to come back this October when they do it again and actually do a reading and stuff. But I have this weird hang up because I'm terrified that management is going to get pissed and call it like a conflict of interest. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I don't talk about any of this kind of stuff at work, right? Um, yeah, 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 yeah. Like that's just it. It's I stopped. I stopped trying to write the book that I thought was going to sell the most. I stopped trying to be Stephen King. I stopped trying to be G.R.R. Martin. I decided to just be Kenton J Moore, and I decided to write a book that I wanted to read, something that I absolutely fell in love with. And, the more, there's a pun on our name again, the more I got into it, the more I felt like the books are just writing themselves at this point because I'm in love with them so much and everything that's happening and everything I'm doing. These videos, I was nervous as all get out today, but the moment this started, the moment I heard the music, the moment I saw your comments and everybody be participating, it was like, yeah, man, it just, like let's just have fun. That's all this is. I just want to write a book that's fun. And if you read Cloudbreaker's Valen and you read Cloudbreaker's Peregrine and you read Dark Below the Ice or Sunlight Prince and you feel something, then man, that's the greatest gift I could get as an author, right? So um yeah, yeah, it's not a conflict of interest until it's happened. Yeah. Well, I mean, so where that came from, by the way, I think, like speaking of trigger points, when I first wrote Legend of the Sunlight Prince, and it was through Create Space, like before Amazon even picked them up and took them over as KDP. It was on Create Space, and I had my first shipment of books shipped to the office at Lockheed Martin because they needed to be signed for, right? And I couldn't take the day off, and I was in an apartment. I didn't want to miss them. So I had them ship them to me at the office. And the receptionist like sends me a thing and she's like, "Hey, by the way, you have a package up here." And I'm like, "Oh my God." And my coworker Lori, who later became one of my best friends and like surrogate mom, like just super, super close. She was like, "Oh my God, it's your books." So we both went barreling up there and opened them on the desk. And within 5 minutes, there was a line of people that were like wanting to buy a copy right there off the front desk. And like, of course, we didn't know. We were excited, so we're like, "Yeah, sure." And yeah, I got a written warning. I got a I got a written warning for conducting personal business at work. So I think that's part of it. That's the part of it. So as lame as it all is, eh? But but yeah, so yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, and yeah, it's been a journey, and I do love it. And making these models, making all the 3D printing stuff, designing these trailers, it's been awesome. So yeah, ask yeah, ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. Yeah, I use that saying a lot. So anyways, folks, I think that's pretty much all I've got for you. Like if there's any other questions, if anybody wants to ask any other questions, feel free, go ahead. I'm gonna switch this on to show chat on the stage there. And we can just hang out and stuff if you'd like. What I'll do is I'll put my little face over here and we can throw up the Peregrine so everybody can stare at how exciting that cover looks. And yeah, we'll hang out for a couple minutes and then we'll call her quits. But what do you guys think of this like streaming thing? Like, would you like to see this more often? Would you like me to have these kind of chats and stuff, these live a little bit more often? Because this streaming service I'm using right now, it's a paid for thing. And right now I just paid for the month just so I could do it. But I really like the professionalism of it. I love that it distributes to multiple places. So if you guys think this is something you'd like to see more often, maybe I'll keep it. Otherwise, it'll just be when I've got big news to share, I'll share it. So whatever you figure. Oh yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, appreciate you coming, man. And it was awesome to see you here and stuff. It means a lot. I guess we'll talk to you tomorrow. Chris, by the way, and I work together at Lotto, and we have this great habit of sending each other when we have to ask each other to do tasks or work. We communicate with one another by by quoting Warhammer 40,000. Like we try to talk to each other as though we're Warhammer 40,000 characters. Like request from the Omnissiah has been denied. So yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah. That's a great idea, Vicky. Honestly, we could do, almost like a more about storytelling live stream maybe once a month or something like that. That's a good idea because I know with the tier that I have right now, in order to be able to get the branding and be able to, show you and share trailers and have it streamed to multiple platforms like this, like to YouTube and Facebook and everything at the same time, I'm allowed to have up to 6 people on screen at a time. So I can have co-hosts, I can have other people on screen with me. So yeah, that's a really good idea. If you think that would be fun, I'd be willing to pull that trigger for sure. That could be good. Yeah, it is. It is nice to see my face too, hey, Tim. Like, and to be able to have that interaction with each other and stuff. Like, the cool thing too about live streaming to YouTube is that it becomes a permanence thing. Like you can still watch the Cloudbreakers Valen cover reveal from last year. So it's still there, and that's great. Yeah. Hey, Shane. Yeah, you think it'd be good, Shane? You like that idea, hey? And do like a monthly special live stream more about storytelling or echoes of fear even and all that. Jason Hewlett, I'm not sure if he's still here, but when Jason and I get together for snippets of his Sandcastle radio show, the Paranormal Theories, he calls me author and folklorist Kenton J Moore, and I love it. I love it. I was like, I love the sound of that. So I actually Googled it the other day, what a folklorist actually is. And I found out that it's a branch of It's a branch of anthropology. I mean, that's what I went to school for. I studied history and anthropology before I joined the Navy, and I didn't even realize that. I didn't know that folklore and mythology was a part of it. But modern folklorism is exactly what we're doing right now. It's studying why humans tell stories, and that would be a really fun thing to explore too. We could, talk about that in episodes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, seeing your face is always fun too, Vicky. And yeah, it would be fun to talk about a stream. Yeah. So maybe we should do that. Maybe we'll look into that and all that. And yeah, we definitely, yeah, I feel you, Tim. Like I said to Kelly too, same idea as like, I know you've been putting the offer out forever to come to Courtney, and I just that area up there is absolutely breathtaking. So, I definitely want to take you up on it one of these days. And like I said, swing by and grab Steve, and we can come up and give you a hard time, play some games. It would be a good time for sure. Yeah. Just as long as Corbin doesn't show up at my house and surprise me again, like, because now that he's got a driver's license, he does that. So, yeah, author and folklorist. Yeah, such a nice ring to it, right? I love it. I mean, author podcaster looks pretty cool too. But how many more titles can I fit under there? I'm going to start sounding like Queen Daenerys pretty soon. Yeah, publisher, author, podcaster, folklorist, all around super kick-ass dude. Yeah, right. Okay, the last part was a little, but yeah, yeah, busy for sure, dude, for sure. And I hope like things are going to get better. There's going to be a lot of change this year. This year's going to be a very difficult year for everybody emotionally and stuff. This I mean, if you know me personally, you know how hard it's going to be to say goodbye to the property and stuff, and to be here for mom and them for it and all that too. So it's going to be tough, but yeah, it's part of evolution, and that's really what I feel like I'm going through in the last couple years here is an evolution. I feel like, I'm getting closer and closer and closer to the kid I was in high school when I was hanging out with Nick and Sheldon and all those guys, and we were reading Marvel comics and drawing all the time, and I've started collecting comics again. The local comic shop here has a bin system, and you tell them what issues you want to collect and they put the latest in. You just show up and you say, yeah, I'd like bin 201, please. And comics, right? And but I mean, of course, I wouldn't be the eccentric nerd that I am if I wasn't collecting obscure titles like there's a Thundercats book out, and I've got that, and some pretty wild stuff. But yeah, keep all the titles, all of them, everyone. The next time I do one of these lives, my name's going to be like up here, and then it's just going to be like title. Yeah, moral support is a call away. Thanks, brother. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, I really appreciate that. All right, my friends. Well, I think we're down to the last 5 here, anyways, and it looks like we're a few minutes away from a full hour. So I guess I'll call her there and say thanks for coming out, everybody. And I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. I hope you enjoyed the trailer and all the images. I'm really looking forward to the Kickstarter and stuff, and you're going to see a lot of it. You'll probably be sick of me posting things in the next little while, but yeah, it's going to be good. I think this is going to be a good year. It's going to be an interesting year for sure. Time to unlock the sky, and as everyone is well aware, you know, to the rise for the fallen, right? Tap tap. All right. Thanks for coming out, everybody. I love you all. You're my favorites. I'll do this for all time as long as everybody's enjoying what I'm doing. So, cheers, everybody. Have a good night.